I just want to. Yeah. Yes, sir. So, welcome everyone to this a fantastic evening where we have all the spectrum of educators, academicians, and decision makers, teachers, professionals who are training other people in this domain of cybersecurity and ethical hacking and all the umbrella terms that come with it. So we are glad to have our esteemed speaker today, Dr. Dheeraj Sanghi ji. Sir, I welcome you with all our heart today, and thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. For the viewers, I want to tell you that the amount of experience that Dheeraj ji has, the things that has seen from across the spectrum, from almost spending years, 15 to 20 years with IITs, he must have seen all kinds of hard problems, both in terms of technology, setting up the process, making it through, taking it to the success and all that. So all that experience he's going to put together and share his wisdom with us today. And we are also waiting for Rakshit Chandanji, who will be joining us shortly. And we also have Nisha ji here, who is a security engineer from Paytm. She knows what is happening currently right now. So the contrast that is there between what can be done with the wisdom of these esteemed speakers and what is happening right now with the wisdom of those who are practicing right now, and with Arjun Chaudhary sir, who is actually the Deputy Director with Cybersecurity Center for Cybersecurity with Police University. So he is always at the helm of affairs, where he knows that these are the kinds of threats that are coming in. This is what you need to be prepared for and stuff. And these kind of thing, when these people, such people meet up, then there is always scope for great engagement and discussion, and something that can fountain into amazing things. So with that, sir, I would request Dheeraj ji to start his presentation, and if it's so, then I can actually tile up this or pin this one to. Yeah, so I've.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here and talking to all those listening to this webinar. So my role here is to talk about online education particularly, and to what extent it can help us in cybersecurity certification. So online education is really, the way to define it is educating people anywhere, anytime. They don't have to go to school or college. They don't have to be bothered about timings and so on. So it could be synchronous, right? Now, first of all, I will tell you that this kind of education is not new. There have been distance education programs in the past. Even live distance education, I remember teaching in such a program in 1986, based on satellite television. So this is not new, but of course, internet has given it a huge support. It has made it more easy than what satellite television could ever do. And COVID has pushed us even further into that, because there was no possibility of having a face-to-face class for the last 14-15 months. Now, what we have seen in the last 15 months is two kinds of extremes, and I would like to bridge these two extremes in my next 5 to 10 minutes. So one extreme is essentially saying, look, if we could do this in 15 months, look at the possibilities. Very soon everything is going to go online, and that's it. The universities are over, the schools are over. People will just learn from their homes. The other extreme looks at the same data, the same situation, and says, look at how poorly people have been educated in the last 15 months. So it's really a fad. It's going to go away as soon as COVID is over. The trend shall never meet. But I think there is something to be said in favor of both these extreme positions. And I'm going to really try and see that what is positive about this, in what direction are we likely to move post-COVID. Now, I would like to differentiate between what people, at least the experts, pedagogy experts, look at as online education versus what has gone on in So if you look at the literature, it talks about the last 15 months as something called emergency response therapy. So they will not call it online education, the experts. Right? They what they're saying is the pandemic happened. I was told to get ready in a week, 2 weeks time, and some small mode of training was given, some technology was put together, and I was asked to take classes. Right? And I, as an honest faculty member who cares for his students, I did something. Some students liked it, some students didn't like it. But frankly, if you really look at what has happened in these 15 months, most of the time, we will use one of these Google Meet or Microsoft Teams or Zoom, and we will use PPTs to teach people, right? And PPTs is not really the best way to teach people. Okay. If you look at the class, face-to-face class, people would argue that I can look into the eyes of the students and make out whether they are following me or not, and they don't have to ask me questions. I can just make out today something wrong. Maybe I need to give another example. Maybe I need to explain this better. Right? It doesn't happen in this so-called emergency response teaching. Right? So therefore, it is bad. Right? Sometimes I can if I'm using a blackboard, somebody asks me a question which is not quite there in my PPT. I can go and write things on the blackboard or whiteboard. Okay? So a classroom environment, and also people learn from each other. They talk to each other outside the classroom. That doesn't happen in this online thing. Everybody sitting at their homes and so on, right? And true, all those issues are indeed correct. But I think the adaptability to the technology is what I consider as positive. I'm not saying what is non is what is the future. I think the future is much brighter than that. If we adopt this technology, then tomorrow we can talk about instruction design that already people are talking about. How do we bring in interaction? How do we bring in this notion of how do I understand that people are following me or not? Like I said in the classroom, I just look into the eyes and I know, right? So can we give small quizzes, 30-second quizzes once in a while, and then there are ways and means to replicate what the classroom is doing. Okay. Evaluation is still a huge problem. A lot of people claim that in online world they've solved this problem through AI and video recording and all kinds of things, but it has, in my opinion, still has a lot to do. The only way you can avoid plagiarism or copying, etc., is by having very strict control or monitoring of students, and I think that leads to stress on the students on one hand, and I think lack of privacy on the other hand. So evaluation is still an open question, but I think the other parts can more or less be done. Okay. So I look at it as that there are positives in this one, but of course not everything can be online. As we already said, that students learn outside the classroom by peer-to-peer interaction, which is important in many kinds of education. But the education or school or college is not just about transfer of knowledge. It's also about building character, building personality, building friendships, building networks that are going to help you for the next 30, 40, 50 years. And those things will happen only primarily if you have face-to-face interaction on a daily basis. So the on-campus, in-school, in-college education is here to stay. So what I think is going to happen with the college, and also some labs cannot be really made online very easily. If you have to use heavy machinery, so I think is going to happen by just looking at a video. Okay. So what I think is going to happen in the future is there is going to be a mixed model. There is really no need for one to spend, if I take EdTech as a model, 8 semesters in the campus. So I could do courses which are very difficult to do online, like as I said, labs, etc., drawing and many other things. I can come to the campus, do those courses, and some semester I could be at home, studying from home. Or even if I'm on campus, I could be doing 3 courses face-to-face, going to the classroom, and 2 courses I could be doing from my hostel room. Okay. The advantage of this is if you look at the country like India, there is a very serious shortage of faculty members. Okay. So one of the questions that people in the last 15 months, I've been writing several blogs about online and favoring online. So people ask me this question all the time. Do you think a face-to-face classroom interaction is better or worse than online? Okay. And my answer is, if the same person is teaching in classroom and if the same person is teaching online, then classroom is better. No doubts about it. At least me. Now there are some people who question that also, but I will not question that. However, that's the wrong question to ask. The right question to ask is my poor quality faculty member teaching face-to-face better, or a top quality faculty member somewhere in the world teaching online is that better? As soon as you start thinking of those possibilities in online, then you will see how it can improve the quality. So the question is not whether X teaching in classroom versus X in online. The question is whether X in classroom versus Y in online. And Y is, the best teacher in the world. X is an average or a poor quality teacher in the classroom. Right? And once you make these comparisons, it becomes very obvious that if the content is such that online works for that content, then you must go online. So my feeling is that in days and in months to come, we will see more and more movement towards a mixed mode where a significant part of my degree program is online. In fact, when you look at the US model, in US already in pre-COVID times, so I'm looking at 2019 admissions. Okay. In 2019 admissions, in the undergraduate program, I'm told something like, maybe off by 1 or 2% here and there, but roughly 13 to 14% of the students enrolled in 100% online courses. 100% online courses. You don't go to the campus. Right? And another 13-14% enrolled in programs where there was a mix. A significant part of the program was online. So we are talking about already 27-28% in the pre-COVID times doing either fully online or significant online. My guess is that post-COVID, whether it's 22 or 23, you will see 50% of the students in US doing online either partially or fully. And once that happens, then all the companies who are a little bit reluctant right now when they look at online or distance education, these keywords, they will all come back and say, no, this is a good thing. I mean, we should look at students who pass through this point. Okay. So that is what my take is on this online business. And also, when that happens, there are going to be a lot of interesting business models for universities will come in. So I know of one university in California. I shouldn't really say it's California because the students that they recruit, they don't stay in California. So they have a very interesting model, 2 semesters in California, but then 6 semesters in 6 different cities of the world. So one semester in South Africa, 1 semester in Europe, 1 semester in in Africa, and 2 semesters in different countries in Asia, 1 semester in Australia, or something like this, right? And everywhere they go, they will just hire one apartment building, put their students there, and all the classes are online. Only the interaction part, and you roam around with the locals and so on. So that's a huge amount of learning, and of course you are interacting with your peers in the same hostel. Of course, you can call that a hostel. Okay? So this kind of business models are coming up. Another kind of business model that are coming up is, a US university comes to us and says, hey, you know what, I'm going to recruit these people and they're going to do online classes. Why don't you allow them to stay on your campus so that they can participate in sports and culture and interact with students and get all the campus feeling and this peer learning and all the other things that we talked about. So all the content will be online, but everything else is offline, and that offline now need not be in a common campus in US, but that offline could be 100 students in Jaipur and 100 students in Manila and 100 students in Tokyo, etc. Right? So of course you don't get to meet all the 5,000 people, you get to meet only these 100 people, but you also get to meet other 2,000 people of that local university where you are being hosted. So that's another implication that I expect will happen sooner or later. This will also lead to unbundling of the universities. Right now universities are everything. I mean, once a student joins in, they are like providing food, they are providing stay, they are providing medical facilities, they are providing transport, they are providing everything. They are doing all of that. Right? Now, if I'm going to be offline some semester, online some semester, some semester I'm doing one course online, and so on, I'm going to say, look, I want to pay for the services that I take. The kind of things that are happening in the airline industry. So I think that unbundling is also going to happen. I think the biggest impact of this is really going to happen at the master's education. For undergraduate education, as you already talked about, there is a need for face-to-face interaction, for building relationships, for peer-to-peer learning, and all those kinds of things. So there will be mixed mode is what I'm suggesting. But for masters, I think master's programs are going to be dead in 10 years' time. Okay. Because if I can do a program while keeping my job, if I can do a program while working from in the evenings and in the night and so on, why would I take 2 years off from my earning capacity and do a master's program? Also, well, if the companies start looking less at degrees and more at competence, then I really don't need to do master's program. I need to acquire certain competence. I'll go and acquire that competence from anybody online. Right? So I think master's program are going to be off, and whenever, so for example, I'm working in cybersecurity area, and I see that use of AI is probably going to help in this area. So I say, all right, let me do a course on basic AI, let me do a course on AI applications, let me do another course on AI and cybersecurity. These 3 courses I can do in the next 6, 7, 8 months, and I'm all set for my next promotion. Like, why do I need to take 2 years off to get educated on all these things? So I think that's what is going to happen with the master's program, and I suspect in 10 years' time we will see master's program be dead. And cybersecurity particularly adapts extremely well to this medium. And of course, we're talking about situations where the attacks are coming online through the internet, and the defense is also one can do remotely. I can control my router, I can control my firewall, I can control all my assets, digital assets remotely. So it's all on the network, right? So if I want to do a lab, I can do it remotely. If I want to simulate some environment, I can do it remotely, right? So in fact, what we can also do is to provide everybody their own little space on my server. I mean, I can create virtual networks and I can create virtual environments so that everybody can play with those virtual environments without affecting somebody else. So everybody can try things in parallel. So I think the cyber security programs would be amongst the first ones to go online, because it is really very, very easy to explain the concepts as well as to try them out in an actual or realistic, not actual but realistic environment by creating virtual environments on my servers. So I think I've taken my 15 minutes, so I will stop here, but would be very happy to answer any questions.
Sir, that was fantastic, sir. I mean, the point you nailed it when you said master's program is going to be phased out naturally, like evolution, how species just weren't found useless anymore. The way you put it, I think. So, do you think it's a concern of this one? And I think Arjun sir also has some questions. So, if you can just answer, do you think it concerns colleges and universities to think about future in terms of masters?
Yeah. So I think it will be of concern to those who don't plan for these things. Right? It's not that education is being phased out. It's a particular form of education that's being phased out. So as I said, the on-the-job learning will be in huge demand. So now, what I will need to offer is programs, courses, individual courses, maybe certificate programs that I can offer to working professionals and offer them online. So it's going to be a replacement of masters by these online programs, and those who are resistant to change, they will fail. And people who are willing to try out these new things, and as I said, we have 10 years, so it's not a small amount of time to learn all this. But of course, there will be some reduction because online has this capability to scale well. So a good university which was offering this MTech program to 100 students can perhaps now take 500 students for the certificate course. So unless my certificate courses demand go up by 5 times, right, somebody has to close. So there will be an increase in demand because it's so easy to do these courses. Whether that increase in demand would be equal to the scalability that online offers, that is still to be seen. If the demand increase is less than the scalability, then some colleges will have to close down and not recover from this MTech loss.
So Arjun sir, over to you, sir. You had a lot of questions, I guess. So muted. Unmute.
Sir, first of all, would be very thankful to say, sir, you've thrown so much of light on these things. And I have been a regular reader of Professor Sanghi sir, his blog spot on a regular basis. And yes, as sir mentioned that probably like in the coming years, masters would be phased out since it is a need of hour right now. And sir, what do you think? There are a lot of changes in the curriculum as well. Coming days, with the inculcation of National Education Policy of 2020, there are multiple exit or entry points of a particular degree for an individual student or the candidate itself. So, would you think that probably coming years there won't be requirement of a degree itself, rather than finding a degree useful? We have a lot of college dropouts like Mark Zuckerberg or preferably like Steve Jobs, which we had seen in earlier. Instead of having a degree of 4 years, probably they will be starting to have some certifications like 8 or 10 certifications based on variety of skills needed to the industry itself. Would you think, what's your take into it, that whether rather than going for the degree, people will start choosing the things which they would like to take part? So say for example, I'm not good at physics probably, but yes, I'm really good at cybersecurity. But yes, as a curriculum mentioned, that in the initial year you need to have some certain 3D engineering drawings, and some of the particular curriculum is required so that they should be aware about all the aspects of the a particular engineering stream or probably is BSc or BS stream. So, sir, I just wanted to know what your takes are into it. Thank you, sir.
So my take is that it's going to take a lot more time before people forget about undergraduate education. See, even from pedagogy and learning point of view, what is very clear, and the reason I said MTech is going to go away is, we are saying that after you have done undergrad today, you have 45 to 50 years of working life. Whatever you may have learned in undergrad is going to be obsolete very, very soon, and therefore today the model is that you need to keep learning all the time. And that's the reason I'm saying, instead of a 2-year MTech program, it's going to be every 3-4 years I say, yeah, you do course or kar le. That's the model that's going to give anything new coming in. I'll say, okay, let me do 1 course or 2 courses. Right? And I'm going to keep doing that for 50 years. However, if you look at how adult learning takes place, adult learning does not take place like a small child, which is by repetition, by listening and then repeating that. Adult learning takes place by connecting the dots. What the new learning that I'm getting, how does it relate to my existing learning? That is how I learn new things. I expand my knowledge. Now, if you do only very limited stuff in undergrad, I pass my 12th class and I say, okay, I want to be doing cyber security, let me just do these 5-6 courses that lead to cyber security. Then 10 years later, when I need to do AI, and somebody says, to really do AI, you need to have a bit of statistics. Look, what is this? Am I going to be able to easily learn statistics at that time? Somebody says, for doing good AI, you also need to learn a little bit of philosophy. Am I going to be able to learn philosophy at that time? So undergraduate education, a broad-based education, gives you the capability to learn for the next 50 years. So therefore, I think people trying to say that, I'm just going to do these 5 courses in 1 semester or 2 semesters and take up a job, that's probably can happen. And we certainly have examples of people who have done that and be successful. But I think those few people whom we always talk about, if we really look at them, they had huge amount of knowledge in the 12th class itself. They are special people. Okay. So to say first year college dropout made billions, it was not a typical first year dropout from college. He was a very smart person. He had read 1,000 books or whatever, and he was like, if you are that kind of person, please go ahead, drop the college, no issues. But most of us are not that kind of person. So those examples can only talk about that, yes, this is possible, but not that should be done by large number of people. So undergraduate will stay for at least foreseeable future in my opinion. However, the way undergraduate will change, as I said earlier, it could be, first year I do all the courses on campus, and then I go for my, internship in an industry where I want to specialize. I get some credit for that internship, but while doing an internship, I also do some credits of online. Then after 1 or 2 semesters, I come back. Then I spend another 1 year at the university, do all kinds of courses which need to be done face to face. Then I go back and do some work somewhere, and I keep getting credit by online and stuff. So it could be that the stay on the campus will become less, maybe half, maybe from historically it could be 4 semesters, 5 semesters, 3 semesters. We don't know how technology will move, but a mixed mode is certainly likely. But undergraduates will stay for foreseeable future.
So one last and quick question, sir. Sir, what I felt like when you were teaching us during my graduation time also, your way of teaching was quite practical oriented, which I felt very much necessary at that time also, as well as today also. I feel that most of the time when we are talking about the theoretical aspects, they left behind actually. Eventually, what I just remember right now is the practicals, what I have done from my hands itself, or probably in the labs itself. But yes, the theoretical aspects, probably any particular algorithms which I haven't implemented, which won't be remembered with me all the time. So don't you think so? The practicals would be more effective in terms of learning or imparting the learning to the students, and should be inculcated more into the curriculum, sir?
Sure. I think doing is definitely better than just theoretical knowledge. However, some of this doing is possible online is all I'm saying. So, cybersecurity example that I gave, you asked me to configure a router, whether I configure that router through a PC which is 5 meters away from router, or I configure that router by being 15 kilometers away from the router, I'm not touching the router anyway, right? I'm using a device which is probably the same room, but a different device. Now this different device could be anywhere, right? So as long as, so I think the only small disadvantage is that one, I'm in that lab and the TA is looking at me and the faculty is looking at me, and I'm probably scared of saying, okay, let me just copy somebody else's code or somebody else's configuration, so on. When I'm sitting at home and my faculty member says, do this, there is a possibility I may just say, I'm not in the mood to learn today, let me copy somebody else's configuration file. Right? So if the faculty member or the teaching assistant is careful enough, ask the right kind of questions, monitor me, and so on. So as I said in the beginning of my presentation, evaluation is a small issue today. It's not a solved problem, right? And unfortunately, a lot of students don't have a motivation to do things themselves unless evaluation is attached. Okay? So that is going to be a concern. But the learning part of a lot of CS related things can be done online. You don't need any heavy machinery, right? And even in case of machinery sometimes, so even I've seen civil engineering machinery. What do? You sit in front of this heavy, this big thing, and there is a screen in front of you, and you're typing something. Okay, now it is attached to the machine. What if it was not attached to the machine? Is it going to be any different experience? Right. So I think we need to look at, there will be some labs which you cannot do outside. For example, in management, a lot of learning happens because people are working together in groups of 3 or 4, about case studies and so on and so forth, right? That kind of thing would be difficult to replicate, not that impossible, but difficult to replicate in an online environment. So, therefore, I think there will be things that you can do online, there will be things that you cannot do online.
So, thank you so much, sir, for your kind words and enlightening words to all of us. I think, and I really hope that the students would take your words as an advice, as a it would be paying a path to them so that they can start thinking in this direction itself. I'm really honored, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And we have among ourselves actually Rakshit Tandon, sir, also. Sir, just to introduce to you, sir, to Professor Dheeraj Sanghi, sir. Professor Dheeraj Sanghi, sir, is currently VC designated at J.K. Lakshmipat University Jaipur, and earlier the director of Punjab Engineering College. And sir, we have ourselves among Rakshit Tandon, sir. He happens to be one of the best cyber security investigator as well as trainer across India I've ever come up. And it's an honor to me and my team and all, sir, you have joined among ourselves, sir. On very short notice.
My pleasure. I've been to Lakshmipat Singhania School at Gotan. They had invited me once. I have spent a complete day there. It was a Lakshmipat Singhania School. The place is there in Rajasthan, Gotan, near Jodhpur. So a pleasure listening to you, sir. You have really highlighted a very important point about virtual education and online education, and I've been in this field for almost 2 decades now, and I've always been positivizing and promoting internet in a positive direction. Though I've been fighting cyber crimes, always full of negative incidences only in my life, but then I have always been talking about the positive use of technology. So a pleasure listening to you, sir, and an honor meeting you, sir.
Thank you. It's an honor meeting you too.
Thank you.
Vijay, sir,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, good evening, sir. Good evening, Rashidji. It is amazing.
Good evening.
It feels like, in the presence of a superhero. Literally, I'm feeling that, because until Chaudhary sir told me that, hey, I somehow happen to know Rakshitji and maybe we can call him for this. I was like, okay, man, this is big. This is something very big, right? Because
No, nothing big. I'm on any time for students, and I have a long association with Police University because I've been every year for the last 8 years. We have been doing this summer internship with Gurugram Police, and I was having the best students from Police University Jaipur as my interns. I don't know this year whether they have applied or not, but this year we have got more than 7,800 applications, becoming a very difficult task for us to select the best one. But this internship of Gurugram Police in cybersecurity definitely has become a flagship event. And that is how Police University Jaipur, I always kept on saying to all the interns that you should invite me to your university so that I can talk to more and more children. But I'm very grateful and thankful to Arjun sir and your organization for organizing this. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So yeah, so for the viewers, I would like to tell you that Rakshitji is that persona. If you think about it, in this technology, in this era, there is a serious need for the whole country to gear up for the attack and the smart AI based attack that might come in the future, right? To train them, you have to be able to influence the mind of the students when they are still in that budding phase. And I know Rakshitji has been doing that not just for the professionals but also in the schools, telling them that there is something like this that you can gear up to, and this is very important. And so having done that, sir, is amazing. So I just, I'm giving you, letting you take over the show, sir. You can start anytime you're comfortable. We are all yours.
So, thank you so much once again. As I can see, the theme of your program is about cybersecurity career planning.
Yes, sir.
So I will just start with few points that how cybercrime has evolved in this last, I would say, 5 years. So when I started very early in 2008 with investigation, and as rightly mentioned by Vijay sir, that I have been connecting with a lot of children. So I don't remember the score exactly, but yes, it is somewhere around 4.2 million kids I have addressed till date now, and it's still on the job. I've been talking to school children. I've been sensitizing them about cyber hygiene, etiquettes, and I'm very proud in sharing that I have brought a lot of these young children to the platform of cyber security as a career now. So the cybercrime has definitely matured a lot, and especially during the COVID time when the whole traffic was online, we were working from home, and these hackers, they left no opportunity unturned where they can attack. And if I go back to the investigation when I started in 2008 with state police, I used to see a lot of social engineering crimes and immature crimes. But now with the advancement of technology, and as rightly said, artificial intelligence, bots, rootkits, APTs, advanced persistent threats, payloads, malicious payloads, and ransomware, which is the biggest threat as of now. And just recently, we must have heard that US Colonial Pipeline was attacked by a ransomware, and they had to pay lakhs and lakhs of millions and millions of dollars to recover their data. They had to pay the ransom. They had no other cost. So, if you are planning a career in cybersecurity, you have to understand it in a holistic approach. People, when you talk to them, oh, I want to be a hacker. No, no, no. Becoming a hacker is not becoming a cyber security professional. Hacker is one part of it. The ethical hacking is one small part of it. Finding vulnerabilities in network, finding vulnerabilities in applications, finding vulnerabilities in server is one part. Today, we have to train our upcoming generation with an approach of defense, offensive, and what do you call that? I would say the word, I'm just missing that word, but recover. How do you recover from an attack? We, as institutions, as colleges, as universities, we talk about wonderful curriculum, ethical hacking, penetration testing, vulnerability assessment, forensics, investigation, digital forensics. There are so many verticals we have created, but I am seeing this thing which is missing called recovery management. We really need to train, because see, attack, nobody is 100% foolproof. When you look at data breaches, which is becoming very, very rampant these days, so scams are increasing, phishing is becoming sophisticated. So it is not that phishing that I want to open rakshitandon.com and somebody is taking me to rakshitondon.com. That is now people can recognize. But there are holographic attacks where the spelling is same, rakshitandon.com, but the font, the letter size and the font of the A is changed, and we are not sitting with a microscope when we are typing websites. So sophisticated phishing attacks are happening. Scams, they have overflooded our country, and especially during COVID period and the second wave. It was so inhuman to see that people were hacking you in the name of oxygen, medicines, beds, by creating fake advertisements, attacking your wallet and stealing your hard-earned money. So that was very sad. Though we are arresting so many of these people, and Delhi police has done a wonderful job. The Delhi Cybercrime Unit has done a wonderful job by arresting these people. There were social crimes, there was child pornography dissemination. Yes, we have seen an increase in CSAM, that is child sexual abuse material, during the lockdown. And no need to mention that in April, immediately after the first lockdown, there was a report. The report said that there is a 95% increase in traffic in pornography from India. So when people were sitting idle on their internet, God knows what they were watching and how they were polluting their mind and how this was coming out. Garbage in, garbage out. You are consuming pornography, so you will see crime against women and children increasing. So there were revenge porn, there was sexting, sextortion, all these crimes. But yes, we have seen sophistication by ransomware. Biggest threat of 2020 and 2021. Even Interpol highlighted it. A report of Michael Page said that there is an increase of 600% in cybercrime. India is in the top 4 countries with recording highest cybercrime. Top 4 countries. So all this brings us down to the need of cyber security professionals. And when people talk to me, whether you are commerce, whether you are arts, whether you are BCA, whether you are a BTech, or whether you are electrical engineer or a chemical engineer, or you are a health specialist. Cyber security fits in every domain. The knowledge of cyber security is required in every domain. So if somebody is hacking my health records, or somebody is hacking my electric grid system, so it doesn't mean that I will wait for a computer engineer to come and help me out. Or if I'm a management person and I'm running a company, or I'm running a software company, so my software programmers now need to mature themselves with hacking knowledge. I don't want traditional programmers now. Our industry needs secured coders. Our industry needs a programmer who knows what is database hacking and what is front-end and back-end hacking. And if he can find out those vulnerabilities, he can create an application which is secure. So cyber security fits in every career and every model, and that knowledge has to be made, I think, compulsory to every part of education. And then only we can create professionals in these three teams, the three main core areas: offensive hacking, defensive hacking, and defensive cyber security, and recovery. Even if you are attacked, then you should know how to recover as soon as possible with minimum damage. Now that knowledge is very important. See, I recently, you must have heard, Noida, there is a company called Haldiram, a restaurant. They were attacked by a ransomware. $7.5 lakh was claimed as a ransom, and the systems were down. And so these kind of threats are coming, and the viruses, they don't leave any strain where you can easily decrypt it. Though European Cybercrime Center and other security companies are doing. So cyber security is now decentralized. It is not that my laptop, I have an endpoint security, I have an antivirus, I have a bot remover, I have a malware remover, and so I am secure. So no, it is now decentralized. I am sitting right now here, we are sitting on a Google Cloud. I am connected to a Google Cloud. Somewhere on Google, this data is getting stored and information, the videos and audios are moving out. In the background, I'm using hundreds of applications which are connected to the cloud. So cloud security becomes an important thing. Digital access management is another key area we are focusing on. So talking about the trends in simple words, yes, there are a lot of online scams happening. You have to be very careful how to protect your digital identity. So now today, in layman terms, my digital identity is my email ID and my SIM card. These are the two things. Today, my bank doesn't recognize Rakshit Tandon. My bank recognizes my registered mobile number for every activity. And today, my bank, previously in my bank, there was one door that was called checkbook. But today, I have 100 of doors in my bank. Debit card, net banking, mobile banking, Paytm, Google Pay, UPI, Bheem, PhonePe, Amazon Pay, credit card, so many accesses to my bank. So, protecting your digital identity is very important. And your email account, because with email account, I am connecting to my Twitter, my phone, and I have a verified account on Twitter. Somebody hacks my Twitter and posts that Rakshit Tandon is going to double your Bitcoin within hours, invest in one Bitcoin and take back 2 Bitcoins. I don't know how many people will invest on Rakshit Tandon, and then you understand it is a scam or a fraud. So what is happening is that you have to know how to protect your digital identities, whether it is social media or whether it is your cloud. So I am running an Android phone, my Gmail ID is connected to my Google Cloud. I am running an Apple phone, my Apple ID is connected to my iCloud. So digital identity protection is important. Organizations should know how to protect their digital information and data especially. See, in this coming time, data breaches is again going to be the very serious threat. I don't know, in COVID times, people have been very carelessly sharing their data and information. I know it was a desperate time. We have gone through a very, very rough phase. And hats off to all our health workers and COVID warriors and organizations who have supported and helped us. But yes, we realize that after so many years of independence, this could also happen to our country. But during this time, I have seen people sharing data and information, whether it was Aadhaar card. Now, Supreme Court came out and said that, listen, Aadhaar card is not compulsory if you want to get a vaccine or you want to have some medicine or a hospital bed. But people in desperate times were sharing such personal information. We have seen some of the worst data breaches recently, whether it was BigBasket, 2 million data hacked, whether it was Domino Pizza data breach, whether it was Dr. Lal Pet's data. Health data is always considered as critical infrastructure. So every new day we have a new startup coming up with a mobile application. They are launching it and millions of customers are using it. But now who takes the responsibility of the data of the customer? Today, if you open up a website, there is an open source website which will tell you whether your data is breached or not. Now, if you go and check there, you will find that your data is getting breached since 2016 and you are not aware of it. And your passwords and your IP addresses, your locations are published on the dark web. Data is the new gold, it is the new oil, and also it is a very, very important catalyst to the rising cybercrime. Just to give you a case study and you will understand, lockdown was there, people were working from home, and for people working from home, their mobile and their internet was very, very important for them. A lady working in a multinational company received a call, calling from Airtel. Your SIM card is, KYC is getting expired, your SIM card will be blocked. You need to do your e-KYC. So COVID times and social distancing, we can't call you to the office, so we have to do the e-KYC. Lady, educated lady working in a multinational company said, how can you call, say that you are from Airtel and call me from a private number? Now look at the consequences of data breaches. The gentleman said to the lady, no ma'am, I'm calling from Airtel, let me verify you. You have done 3 recharges in the last 3 months. The recharge amount was X, X, and X. The recharge date was so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. And your mother maiden name is so-and-so. And you have purchased this SIM card and so-and-so from so-and-so place. Now the lady was back. Okay, yes, you are calling from Airtel. Sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, fine. Tell me what should I do? Well, I'm not asking any OTP or personal information. You just have to send one SMS to 121. And who is 121? Our authorized customer care. You have to send this SMS from your mobile and your KYC is done. And your SIM card will be deactivated for some time, so don't get worried. The lady, on the instructions of that person, she sent one SMS to 121. Do you know what was that SMS? Now, I don't know how many of you understand, there is a new technology for phones like Apple and Samsung, where they have only one slot for a SIM card, and that technology is called eSIM, embedded SIM, or we call it the programmable SIM. By sending that SMS, the eSIM of that customer was activated. A QR code was sent to the hacker's email. By scanning that QR code, the number of that lady got activated at the hacker's handset, and now the hacker was the owner of your digital identity, and so the Paytm or the bank or whatever, they only recognize your SIM card. This lady lost 18 lakh rupees from her bank account. In simple words, in criminal words, we call it SIM swapping fraud. But it was detected, it became successful because of data breaches. So I got a call, Mr. Tandon, bole yes, your policy number so-and-so, bole yes, you paid last premium so-and-so, bole yes, you paid premium by so-and-so check, bole yes, you are a eligible person for bonus and you are getting a bonus of 1 CR, but due to the new GST rules, you have to pay 18% GST, then only we will transfer your 1 CR. So you pay 18 lakh rupees to me and your 1 CR will be transferred. So this is what we are facing on day-to-day basis on the ground level. The number of complaints have risen. Government of India is doing initiatives to protect and to create a redressal mechanism which can protect your money. So one of the initiatives is cybercrime.gov.in, the government website, MHA website, and it has a helpline number 155260, which is 24/7 operational. In some states, they have started financial fraud management like Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, and 1-2 names more, and rest are in process. But anyone in the country can open this website and report a cybercrime. So this is the current trend. Talking about how do we plan our career. So I think right from 10th standard, I would say, or 9th standard, we should start teaching children about vulnerability, pen testing, secure coding. We should bring in subjects like this. Already they have been brought in, I know. And mentors and experts like us should come forward. As an initiative in 2013 with Haryana Police, we started the internship program where we train children free of cost we bring the best mentors from the country to join us. And there have been companies like Google, Paytm who have been supporting our initiatives, and other cybersecurity companies like SafeHouse and SSG who have been supporting our initiatives. And what we do is we create this platform where I bring in the best experts across the country in every field. So see, we in cybersecurity, you have to know cryptocurrencies, you have to know encryption, decryption, you have to know blockchain, you have to know AI, deep machine learning, and you have to know VAPT, you have to know network penetration and network sanitization, you have to know SOC, security operations. And there are so many interesting subjects which makes you a good cyber security professional. So what we do in this internship, we bring in these best mentors and experts and get them trained, give them the right guidance. And I also understand that a lot of universities have started programs. And I think one thing which I would like to mention here is that we in this lockdown have created a virtual lab for students where they can come and practice their hacking skills. And it will give them, by the help of AI, it will give them a rating also. So whatever cases I have seen, it's been a long time that I have been working, and I'm honored and privileged to work with organizations like CBI, NIA, and ED, Enforcement Directorate, Cybercrime Units of State Police, Crime Branch. I have done solved murder cases. I have solved all kinds of cases I have seen where digital footprint becomes an expert, and that is what my expertise is, digital footprint tracking. So with that all experience I have got from organization, industry and police, I have got and put it in this lab where my students and my children can come in and do hands-on. So they're not touching anybody's computer, they're all working on a virtual simulated environment, and they're polishing their skills and they are practicing their skills. So these are some of the things which I am contributing to. I don't know how much time do I have to speak, but then if I take my time, I'm open for questions if you have any. And once again, I'm thankful to all of you who have invited me to this platform. So yes, any questions for me? Vijay sir or Arjun sir, if you have any questions for me.
Arjun sir, would you like to ask the question?
So first of all, really thankful, sir. And it was actually an enlightening session, sir. Eventually, like being in cybersecurity, even on a regular basis, if I hear you on various platforms, there is always a new thing to learn from your side. That there is no doubt, like there is a repetition of the things itself, sir. So first of all, sir, heartiest thankful to you, sir, to be the part of this platform for the first time. And let's hope so, sir, that we do some collaborative work on a regular basis. And sir, my question to you, sir, like as you mentioned that the criminals have evolved on a regular basis, and then we can see that the current colonial pipeline attack was one of the sophisticated and largest attack we have seen ever. And as you mentioned that the ransomware or DDoS attacks or probably like the use of eSIMs have grown drastically. So don't you think that there is a lack of preparedness among the government of India or probably the police departments, since the police being the state affair, like it's not per se we can say there is a preparedness among all the states itself. So as well as like how the academia can pitch into that to fill the void in between the technical knowledge what we can provide to them, and somehow like there are a lot of things we can do. Being a police university, we have been doing a lot of work in this direction. But yes, since we are just 8 years old university, and since you know that a university takes at least like 20 years or 25 years down the line to be a established university or a brand and value among the common public itself. So what's your take into it, sir? So just wanted to know about that, sir. Thank you, sir.
So Arjun sir rightly said, we are now facing the new challenges like crypto crimes, dark web crimes, anonymity. Like recently, just days back, I've started working on a crime where it was, for me, it happened in 2015 also, but then again it came out. There was a malware attack on the ATM where no card, no cloning, no pin, nothing. They just come and put in pen drive. They insert a malware to the unencrypted hard drive. They turn off the switch connection and they drain out all the money from the ATM within 1 hour and half an hour. So no ATM required, no cloning, no pin, nothing. Just the malware insertion. So this level of attacks we are seeing. In that, yes, the skill updation of the police personnel is very, very important. And the crucial role can be played not only by the police academies, but by the academia, like universities. They can play a very... For example, if I go to the Gujarat model and I talk about GFSU, so GFSU, I remember, has always been, though they have an authorized forensic lab, which has been certified, I think more forensic labs like this should come up. That is the first thing we require, which is missing. Let me tell you the sad story. The good story is that BPR&D, Bureau for Police Research and Development, MHA, have been very aggressively working to train the police officers, and I am a witness to it because I have been a faculty. So, like, thoroughly from January to December, my calendar is free in all the central universities: CDTI Jaipur, CDTI Chandigarh, CBI Academy, ISA Mount Abu, and CDTI Kolkata. But I don't have a single date in my calendar when I'm not sitting in these academies, and there are 30 to 40 participants from all across the country. Now, the state police should recognize these knowledges and training. If one of your police sub-inspector is trained and he has gone and attended a training, then bring him back and put him in cyber cell. Don't put him in a thana or a chowki. So that is one problem. If he gets trained, then don't transfer him just because of some reason. You transfer him and make him a GRP or officer, or make him sit in a train or a coach. So that one thing is very important. Training on investigations has been happening, but the synchronization with forensic is very poor. Till date, as per my knowledge, as per IT Act, we have hardly 8 to 10 certified labs in the country. 8 to 10, that's it. And in every crime, not cyber crime, in murder, kidnapping, everywhere there is a bit of digital evidence. CDR, WhatsApp chat, mobile chat, and we have to wait for years to get the reports from forensic lab, because as per the law, there are only 8 or 7 or 9 certified labs. So this is where academia can play a role. Develop a lab, get it certified, and then in parallel with your state police, you run programs, train them, and you also help them to solve those cases. Because the law never says that a forensic lab can only be opened by a government organization. No, you should have those those values and what you call compliances, and then you take a certification. Like Gujarat Forensic Lab was certified, right? CFSL was certified. Military Lab was certified. So we have, I think, I don't know Rajasthan if we have any as of now, but in my notice we have 2 in Delhi. One is Gujarat, Gandhinagar, then one is your military, then one is your Hyderabad, CFSL. So try and understand, today investigation is being trained. Everybody knows how to track the footprint, trace the IP address, get the suspect. But now to prove the crime in the court of law, you need a lot of forensic evidence, digital, and that is an expertise field. You can't expect my constable, ASI or inspector to become a certified BTech engineer or a forensic expert. So that has to be coming from the academia. You create those forensic. And every state, I remember RPA, Rajasthan Police Academy, has also hired forensic consultants. And this was given under the CCPW scheme, the Cybercrime Prevention for Women and Children. They were ready to pay 1 lakh rupee salary. That every state police should hire forensic consultants. But where will they work? You need a forensic lab for that.
Yes,
so I
sir.
think that is where your academia can play a very important role. Trainings are happening. Police is getting trained now. CDR, IPDR, handling YouTube, Twitter, they are getting to understand. They are catching these jamtaras and vivat and phishing and wishing. But yes, we have to upgrade their resources, which is also a very important thing. So not only training will help, but you have to give them resources to solve cybercrime.
So, one quick question, sir. Like you mentioned Jamtara, sir. So these people, what we are seeing, like even in the Rajasthan, like you can say northern parts of the Rajasthan, like Bharatpur, Dholpur, people are actually
Meerut.
doing these kind of activities on a regular basis. And then these people are the this is the bread and butter of those people actually. Like probably like they'll be arrested for a crime or so for a day or so. They'll go for the jail also, but somehow they'll be bailed out also. But yes, what is the permanent solution out of that so that the people who are duping other people on a regular basis, we can see the reports of RBI that these people have been duping probably like thousands or lakhs of the crores of rupees from Indian citizens across India itself. And you know, we have seen like there are people in the Gurgaon, Noida, where they have started doing the fake BPO channels itself, and they are now probably duping the US customers, posing as IRS officers across the country itself. But sir, what is the end solution? Because eventually, like they'll be caught and they'll be again released on bail or something, and then again they'll start doing it. So somehow there needs to be a stricter law. Don't you think so, sir?
So I'll quickly summarize this. Yes, we need strong laws. Today I hack a computer. As per IT, the punishment is 3 years, and 3 years is bailable from the lower court. So I need stricter punishment, number one. Number two, I need the responsibility of stakeholder to be defined very clearly. All these crimes are happening because there is no proper KYC at the bank level or at the payment gateway level and at the SIM card level. So these two backbones of our internet, telecom and finance, they need to strengthen their rules and strengthen the punishment for non-KYC. I go to withdraw money, I will only withdraw 20,000 as per limit. But when the hacker hacks my account, he can withdraw 2 lakh rupees. This is not, there is a problem. Number two, I go to buy a SIM card, I have 3 rounds of verification, 3 rounds. And when we are catching these Jamtala, they have 700 SIM cards in their bag. How are they getting the SIM card? So this is second thing. Third thing, very important, which is not technical solution, but I think is to create good employment. To create good employment for these people. The crime you mentioned about these fake call centers which are cheating foreign people, they are cheating Indian people also. They are getting 20-25,000 rupee salary. And most of them, when they are arrested, they don't even know they are doing something wrong. And they are bringing in those children from various parts of the country where they have good English accent, they speak good English, and they are giving them very good meals, they are giving them taxi services and a very good salary. So where are we blinded? In a big city, how can they open such a call center, employ 300 people, and we are blinded, we don't even know what they are doing. So yes, strengthening laws, and companies should also now, and they have become, let me tell you, Arjun sir, this COVID period has taught the companies to be proactive now, a little proactive. And I will say that percentage in cyber security has increased. वो डर आ गया. I am very happy. मतलब COVID was bad, but ये एक अच्छी चीज हुई cyber security में. वरना हिंदुस्तान में जब हमारे यहाँ चोरी हो जाती है, तब हम कैमरा लगवाते हैं. So when some fire takes place, then I go for fire fighting equipment. So same was for cyber security. But yes, now companies have started being a little proactive. They are getting their BAPT done, network audit done on a serious level because they have gone through the consequences. So I think creating good employment, making strong laws, and these two key holders, one is the financial body, and second, like for example, SBI, what have they introduced? Even when you take out money from an ATM, a second level authentication is important. So if you are taking more than 5,000 withdrawal, they will send you a registered OTP, then only the money will come out.
Right, sir.
So some mechanism we should learn from our mistakes. We are not learning from our mistakes. Today, every day people are cheated with QR code, link, Paytm wallet, UPI wallet. So these companies should come out with their cybersecurity training. They should stop virtual numbers. Now, virtual number has become a threat. We should have zero tolerance to virtual numbers on any platform. So nobody can use a VoIP number on WhatsApp, Telegram, Paytm, PhonePe, anything like this. Right. Something like, we call it the IDS or something. So good cyber security framework and policy can help. But yes, these two pillars have to take the...
Yes. Sir, Vijay sir, do you have any queries, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, that was fantastic. I was completely lost listening to you. So much of information. I was enjoying it. Really fantastic. So, with so much of experience, I want to ask a very naive question. Okay, I would like to put you in the situation where you are a recruiter. You have a company. You are now, let's say, starting a startup to create a system. What kind of a skill set would you look in an amateur? Just degrees, just the capabilities. What would you assess in them when you want to take a person or to train them or hire them, whichever way? What are the signs that you will look for?
So, to be a very good hacker, you have to think like a criminal. That is what I say always. So, it's the same skill set we look in a programmer or a developer, where whatever simple program you either code or you run, you always try to get into the background of that program, that kind of inquisitive knowledge level you have. So that makes it very easier for us to train them. And then cybersecurity is more about passion. And so people, they call me expert. I feel very embarrassed when they call me, but I say, yes, I'm an 18-year-old student in cybersecurity. So rather than calling me an expert, because every day there is a new threat coming up, and you should be very open and ready to learn. And you should have a very humble attitude and towards your education and knowledge. So we look at that passion skill basically, and we look at that breaking and creative skill also. And so that we can give them some live exercises to work on. Also, we look for a social engineering skill set. Okay, I'm just giving you Vijay sir number. Give me 150 information about him through open source intelligence. I'm just giving Vijay sir's number and give me 150 crucial information and in how minimum time. So say for 15 seconds, 20 seconds. So that level of knowledge or playing with internet is very important skill set which we look at. And that we always seen the results are very good. But now, thanks to so many mentors who have created those platforms like Bug Bounty, Hall of Fame, and that is also making it very easy for people like you. So suppose I come with my resume, and in my resume, there are 100 Hall of Fame. That means I have found 100 vulnerabilities in the top 100 websites. So you understand that what kind of a skill I have now. So these are some factors and points which we look at now. And but let me tell you my experience with children. We have the best brain of our country. They just need the right direction and the right mentorship. I have been amazed with the brains I'm working with, especially at school level and college level. I have got the best of the interns in my Gurugram police or whether Hyderabad police, wherever we have done internships. And the best part is they are making the country proud. So they are doing a wonderful job, working with big MNCs as on date, or with the government of India, or with their own startups as well.
Fantastic, sir. So one more question, it just came out while you were answering, and I think this is something which I've always wanted to ask, and no better person to ask than you, sir. And this answer, I think, is not just for me, it's all for everyone out there. I believe that acquiring the knowledge of breaking something as critical as cyber systems, that is it's a niche area. I mean, once you have that, you are always pulled to the dark side. So what would be your message be to the students who at some point of time get in the situation that they now know they're invincible, but what do you want to tell them not to do so that they go into the dark side and become black hat hackers?
So from day one, when I started, that was the first child was, and the first thing which came to me was the ethics. Like as a doctor, when you become a doctor, you are given some code of ethics in medical fraternity. Similarly, when you become an ethical hacker or you have that knowledge to break in, so that word called unauthorized and authorized access, there is a very thin line between this. So suppose I've invited by Vijay sir that, okay, Rakshit, I have this company Analogica, and we have a website secured, certified, assured. So, and can you just break into it? And with your written permission, with your written power of attorney, and break into your system with your knowledge, it's called authorized access. But now, without telling you, I just penetrate your site, dig out something, and I show it to you. I have committed a crime. It's an offense under section 66 of IT Act, punishable. So, to all my young students, the first thing which you have to learn is your code of ethics and the law. You have to be a law-abiding student. It is very easy to get swayed into the dark web and sell information and earn quick money. But whether it has been the case of, you have seen a lot of cases, whether it was a $1 million case of Amit Bharadwaj cryptocurrency or any big hacker which you name, at the end of the day, your digital footprints cannot be removed. Howsoever anonymous you are, howsoever you use proxies, at the end of the day, the end is very dark. So that quick money can be very catchy or very interesting for you at that time for hacking somebody's ID or breaching somebody's privacy. But at the end of the day, it will be your jail with free food and free lodging. So it is better not to break the rules and stay ethical to your code of practices. And I always advocate that it's better you work for organizations, for the country. Like today, government has created a platform called NCIIPC, National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center. We have a RVDP program, Responsible Vulnerability Disclosure Program. You are a student, you are a researcher, you tell us the vulnerability. They are rewarding you. They are putting your name on the website. And then now I come to Vijay sir, Santosh sir company for a job or Paytm or Vijay Shekhar Sharma, and I show that my name is mentioned on Government of India website. I have got a double score in my interview. So I have seen it in my 20 years of experience. It is very difficult to hide your digital footprint, and so it is better. The first day you teach these cybersecurity professionals, I teach them the cyber law, extensively the cyber law and the consequences, because I have seen the consequences. I have worked on so many cases, and we have busted so many cases. The cyber cells have busted so many cases, and they have arrested those people. And I know what is the consequence after that. One dark spot on your brain, and your whole knowledge is gone into whatever. So it is better to be on the right side and you earn less, but you sleep well. And but the moment you get into the darker side, you earn very good, but you cannot sleep. You always be running. You always be scared. So what is the point of doing that? So yes, there are some children, and that was sad initially when you started seeing the NCRB report. And even today, when you see these people who have been arrested, they're all young people. You will never find a 78-year-old person trying to hack a computer or something. You will always find a 18-year-old or 22-year-old getting into this. So that is a very sad part, and that is, I think, through college and academia and schools we can improve by giving them the netiquette, cyber hygiene, and digital citizenship rules. So now you are in a digital platform. Everything is online. Even my relationships, even my wedding functions, social gathering, everything is on Zoom today. We are not meeting people. So one should be taught about the digital citizenship rules.
Perfect, sir. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I think, Vijay, I have a small question to Rakshit sir. Rakshit sir, it's wonderful hearing you and knowing new things. So I would, as an academician, I would like to, so you were mentioning like we can set up labs in the academia. So how can we collaborate, or how we can do that, like in Manipal or any other universities?
So I'm always open, sir. I've supported many universities. I've been on the board of studies. I have helped them to set up these labs. And I'm always open to this. I would love to be one of the facilitator or a mentor to this project. It's very simple. Government of India has a lot of opportunities for you. Ministry of IT has a lot of opportunities for you. You just have to give them a room, a setup, and an infrastructure and a framework. That framework which works for years to come. It is not just a small pilot project that you are doing for 2 months under your guidance. Today you are the dean and professor, so it is happening. Once you are transferred, it will stop. No. So that framework you have to create. And I can tell you, in the name of universities, these all good companies, they are ready to come and merge in. So you don't need to financial support only from government or their funds. But there are companies like Oracle, Microsoft, IBM, who are always ready. And there are these cybersecurity top companies like FireEye, Palo Alto, and all these companies. They are ready to come in and pump their funds and to help you to set up that infrastructure lab. And then once this lab is created, from first year to fourth year, every year the students are getting rotated and they are coming in and they are becoming research. So there is so much to research on. Like recently you must have seen IIT Roper has come out with a face buster to detect fake people in the virtual meeting. They did research. They created this artificial intelligence product. There's so many things to research. Especially if you talk to me as a police, I would say that I want students who can help me work on dark web crimes and cryptocurrency crimes. So there are these new wonderful areas where you can get research done by these children, and we can collaborate in terms of getting the right mentors for the right subject. So for network, we can have the best expert, and we can create a kind of advisory. And with private and public partnership, we can create this research center. Coming to labs, I know companies, their products are very expensive when it comes to forensics. So they start in lakhs of rupees. So that funding you have to manage to create a forensic lab. But for that, you have to first incubate that brain also in your organization, which can stand and take care of that lab which you are creating. So I'll be open to this, and I can share my contact details. You can get in touch. I'm easily available. It's not that I'm not reachable at all. So you can just connect with me, and I would love to collaborate and guide you on this initiative. It would be a wonderful initiative, and we should take it up now. It's high time, and academias are the one who can bring this change now. We cannot wait and sit and ask for the government to break policies or something. Government has created infrastructure. They are giving you funding. We have so much of funds in Digital India. We have so much of funds in Startup India. We have so much of funds in AICT. We have so much of funds with, what is that? National Skill something. So there are so many areas where we can pull in funds. But the point is to put the right people and create the right product. And that is what the academia will do.
Sure, so that's really honor to hear you, and we have some collaborations abroad as well. I will look into collaborate, and I will get in touch with you. And
Do connect with me, sir. Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Right, Arjun sir, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's an honor, sir.
Taken a lot of time.
You have enlightened us with all these details. Further, we'll be actually pushing you towards setting up something so that under your leadership, under your guidance, we can again start working in this area. Since we are again from the same fraternity, and I would request, sir, please do visit us anytime, sir. After the COVID.
So that the things get normal, yes, definitely. Once the things are normal. Otherwise, online, I'm always available. You can call me anytime.
Right, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for your time and everything, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so viewers, our next speaker, before I announce her, I am really so happy that the amount of information that was shared by Rakshit, it was fantastic. So much to think about, so much to write about, so much to ponder about. I hope you've gotten the summary of it and absorbed it and use it to the best of the effort. Every information that he shared, emails and his website and everything will be shared with you, with all of you. Don't worry about that. All right. So our next speaker is Nisha Kumari ji, and she is a security engineer at Paytm, and she is right now at the helm of affairs. I mean, if we were to talk about Paytm, then that is most critical space where transactions are happening. So let's listen from the expert who's dealing with this stuff every day. And the questions, ma'am, welcome to our webinar here, and everyone would be gearing to learn from you. How did you make it, and what are the skills required? Over to you. I leave the floor for you to take over.
Thank you, Vijay sir. It's been privileged to listen to Dheeraj sir and Rakshit Tandon sir. So there are lots of things that they have told about. One is that post-graduation, Dheeraj sir was talking about, that is going to phase out in future. I'm also a postgraduate. I did my post-graduation from Information Security Branch, BIT Mesra. So I would agree with his point that it is going to phase out in future, because technology is evolving every day. Every day there is new technology, new things are coming, and what you learn at college, you do not use in you can say in industry, and after 2-3 years there is something new, again something new. Dheeraj sir was also talking about to keep updated, keep learning. So anyone who is trying to have their career in security. They are trying to learn about security, or they want to pursue something in security. They need to gear themselves up that they will have to be updated. They'll have to read for their entire lifetime, because every day there will be new vulnerability, there will be new technology, there will be new risk, new areas, new discovery. Again, coming, there is cloud now, there is AI, then there is going to be more and more things. With that, there is coming lots of vulnerabilities, lots of risk, lots of threats. So you'll have to study. If you're planning your career in cybersecurity, make your mind up that after you don't have to think that okay, I'll get a job and then it's fine, I'll be doing my job. No, you'll have to study. You'll have to be updated. That's the first thing I'd like to tell to the students, whoever from college or whatever area they are planning to switch to security. Keep yourself updated with everything, with threats, with new technology and everything that is there in the industry. So that is the first point I'd like to mention. And Rakshita rightly mentioned one thing, that is cybersecurity is not all about hackers. It's not all about hacking. There is one aspect of it that is hacking. You can talk about that the hackers are there, they're hacking. So what I see, students every day are now in college, or if you talk to anybody, even in LinkedIn also I get requests, and they just reach out to me saying that I have hacked 2 3 sites, I have got some bug bounty, and I know hacking. So it's all about hacking. I want to pursue my career in security because I know hacking. I have hacked 2 3 sites, or I have done some social engineering, something like that. So no, it's not going to be like that. So cybersecurity is much more, much more than that. So I have prepared few things, few profiles that we have in the industry. I'd like to talk about that. In cybersecurity, you have different profiles. Like if you talk about hacking, there are 3 types of main hackers, that is white, gray, and black. When I say black hat hackers, they are the people that hack the system for malicious purpose. They do it for themselves. Rakshit Tandon sir was talking about that they go to jail, they hack for themselves, they get lakhs of rupees. So these are malicious hackers. They are known as black hat. Again, there comes a white hat hackers. So they hack the system, they find the vulnerabilities, and they report to us. So that was the case. He was talking about NCCP, NPCCIP, or certain that organization that we have in India, or even companies give you bug bounties for that if you report a hacking. So that is a white hat hacker, where hackers do hack the website, do hack the things, but they report you so that you can correct yourself. Then again, there is a gray hat hackers. They're a combination of both the hackers. That depends on how they want to do it. So that is three profiles in cybersecurity. It's not profiles. You can say it's just hacking. Now I can talk about more on profiles and security, hacking, and all those things. So let's go ahead with 2 teams that we have in industry. One is red team and one is blue team.
Nisha ma'am, may I just stop you? Would you like to present your screen? Do you have
No,
it?
that's fine.
Sure,
I'll talk about it.
Okay.
So one is blue and red team. Now what is it? One is offensive security and another is defensive one. One who is attacking, another who is defending. So one who is attacking is red team. Okay, and the one who is defending is blue team. That is the basics of the cybersecurity profiles that will give you a lot of opportunities. In fact, I should present a few things so that will make clear for students to see. I guess this is here. Now, if you talk about what happens in red team is offensive security. So hacking, exploiting vulnerabilities, penetration testing, black box testing, social engineering, web application scanning, these all things are done in red team. There are so many profiles in red team that you can pursue as your career, that are you can say source code reviewer, web application tester, mobile application testers. Rakshit Tandon sir was talking about, you need secure coding. secure coding practices. So these are the profiles where you can pursue career as a security analyst or security engineer, where you will be coding, but you will be coding with secure code. So that is a single profile. It is not hacking, it is not getting into something, it is just coding, but it is secure coding and it is a security profile. Again, we have testing profile, that is pen testing one, for mobile testing, web testing, again vulnerability analyst. So these profiles comes under offensive security. What they do, their duty is to try to attack and find the vulnerabilities. So it's like, more into attacking thing. So I can tell you about more about these profiles in details, but we don't have much time. So I'll talk about some profiles that we have in defensive security. So now we are attacking somebody is trying to defend it. So for defending, you have profiles like SOC analyst. SOC is a part of cybersecurity which is known as Security Operations Center, where monitoring is done, where everybody is few people are sitting and monitoring the entire system logs and just taking that somebody is trying to attack. If they are trying to attack, they are protecting it, they are defending it. They are reporting it. There are incident management profiles. There are CISO profile. There are threat analysts who try to analyze what are coming, what are types of attack, how to protect themselves. So students and whoever want to be in this area, just identify the type of work you would like to do, because these are different things and you cannot club all this together and just sit and learn at your college. A single profile takes a lot of time to learn. So my advice to everybody would be that just learn what you want to do at your college level, at your school level, wherever you are. Just identify, you want to be part of blue team or you want to be part of red team. You like to attack or you like to defend. That is just a single thing you should consider before getting into learning cybersecurity things, because if you try to learn everything, you will end up learning nothing. You'll know just a few profiles, you know something from coding, you will know something from attacking or hacking, but you won't be able to, you will make it, but it won't be lasting forever, or you won't enjoy it. So I'll suggest everyone, just first of all sit down, take some time and identify that what you want to do. Do you like hacking? Do you want to protect it? Do you like to defend? Or there is one more profile which is forensic. After attack has happened and something has happened, there is a profile where forensics is done, and people used to analyze and see what has happened, what were the evidences, what can be present to court, and like things like that. So that is also a profile if you want to be part of forensics. And again, there is also another profile that I can say, which is cyber law. That is more related to this forensic and cyber crime and cyber cell. So just identify. Then again, this is bug bounty, which is a gray hacker. That is, I talked about that black hat and gray hat hackers do the bug bounty programs, and they get paid money from the companies or uh, government organizations also for their work. So this profile is also good, but I believe it can give you lots of money if you're a good bug bounty hunter. Google pays you lakhs of rupees for finding vulnerabilities in their websites. So identify first. And another thing is cyber forensic. I told audits. There is one area which is or known as cybersecurity audits, and there are cybersecurity profiles which is known as auditor, and people are getting paid good money for doing this auditing thing, because in India and even in foreign there are lots of standards, lots of compliance things, like in payment card industry there is PCI DSS. In India we have RBI audit. So to comply with the audit, they need some people, they need some employees who will do the internal audit, get themselves to a standard, their security posture, and then they can comply with the auditors. So that is also a good profile. If you want to be auditor, you like to just audit. This is just like, you have heard of that financial audits. You must have heard about other kinds of audits. So it is also a good area, and there are lots of opportunities. There are lots of big four companies who hire these people. So for that, you'll have to read about a lot about this called uh, uh, policies that we have in India. We have a data privacy policy, PCI DSS. Then again, Rakshit Tandon sir was talking about health data. So HIPAA, that is in US, they have that standard. GDPR for the European data. So you'll have to read about all these things. Now, if you talk about the profiles and everything, I have talked about 3, 4, 5 types of areas where you can learn and you can get a job, and you can identify and then start learning. What I like to advise the students of the colleges, or since I was in college, I was not able to understand what to do. I always wanted to join security, but I was learning coding. I was learning Java, then I learned C++, then I learned networking, and I realized that I need to do something in security, but it took a lot of time, 3, 4 years, to understand what to do. So my advice to every student in the college would be, just learn the basic of operating system, learn the networking, learn scripting, learn more about the things that you're learning in the college, and then if you want to pursue a career in security, just identify and then start learning in that area. There are lots of platforms in the Google that will give you that will teach you security, that will tell you that okay, we are teaching security, we are in cyber security. But for that, you need to be particular about the areas, because there is profiles like, you say threat hunting, forensics, you talk about audits. These are different. Hacking, penetration testing, vulnerability assessment. There are lots of profiles, and every profile has lot to learn. A single profile. And what I see today, that students who come from college, they join the company, and they say, oh, I have learned security, I have done so many courses, I have done this, I know hacking, I know these things. But if you talk to them, they are not aware of the basics. They are not aware of what they are doing. They have learned few steps, and just they are hacking the system. They are gaining access to some sites or some unauthorized things, and they are happy about it. Take some time, identify the areas that you want to learn, identify the courses that you have to do, and then learn. Then go ahead with this career or this profile and whatever you want to pursue. I think Vijay sir has planned something for everybody to learn for something for 6 months, I guess, right, sir?
It's a boot camp for 7 days to start off with, and after that we have a lot of other certifications, and with collaboration with industry experts, we've come together. Even you've seen this one. We would love for you to talk about it, like how you found it and how.
So what I'll say that he is also planning a good security courses, and you can learn it. Now there is one more area which is gaining lots of popularity, that is cloud and cloud security, since our all the data centers and everything is migrating to cloud. So there is one more aspect which I forgot to mention in my PPT, that is cloud security. If you want to be part of it, first learn what is cloud, how it is working. Before securing anything, you need to understand that what you are securing, what is it that you are trying to protect, what it is that you are trying to attack. And just if you learn few steps, and this is what I have attacked, and then I have gained access and I can do this thing. But what is it? Why are you doing it? What will you get out of it? So just learn the basics. I guess there are lots of courses, and if you want, I can share a few online free certifications and free courses where you can learn things like I have prepared it, like these are offline one. I guess I'll share it later with Vijay sir for you to just learn it from free courses. But my advice to each and every student in college would be, identify first what is it that you want to do. Don't go for lots of things. Don't go for just learning hacking or learning just cloud or learning all the things and then saying that I know security. Don't do that. Learn operating system, learn networks, learn data center. What is it in data center? Learn what is data. Learn the basics first. Learn what is cloud. Before securing cloud, you need to understand what is cloud. So that is what I'll advise to everyone. There is lots of opportunities in India in the industry, as India is a great place. We have lots of companies, but still there is less number of people in cybersecurity we have right now. So industry needs people like you. Industry actually looking at they want security people. So get certified, learn something, and join security wall. It's good. But again, I'll say one more thing. You'll have to be updated for entire life. If you want to pursue career in this field, you'll have to read for your entire life. You'll have to be updated. You cannot just like government jobs, you join the job and now you're done with it. No, that is not going to work in this area. You'll have to be updated. That is what you will have to be prepared if you want to pursue a career in this field.
Perfect. Very nicely put, ma'am. Thank you so much. I would like to ask anyone else who has a question from the audience. If the audience has any question for Nisha ma'am here, you can let me know. Anyway, we will take the question later and we'll forward it to you, ma'am. So thank you so much for that insight. And we will get in touch with you, ma'am. Again, we would require your support and all that, knowledge that you've acquired to position yourself, and the way you're moving ahead with all the research that you will be doing in future. We would be glad to be associated with you along our path, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. So, viewers, I would like to now invite our next speaker, Dr. Santosh Patil ji, and he will just give us an insight into the idea of internalization of education itself as India as a platform, right? What can India give across the world? What kind of thing? Because he is into that day in and day out. So we would love to hear from you, sir. Thank you, sir. Please welcome, and over to you, sir. So it's muted. Could you just unmute yourself, please?
Yeah, well, thank you for that. That's wonderful. Because this is a new normal, so we are have to get acquainted with these things. And there were 3 very nicely presented lectures or talks, I can say. And with that, I also have got a huge insight. So, as an academician, I would like to take a help of presentation. So I hope it's fine. And I will be talking. Thank you, Vijay and SPUP to collaborate with Manipal University Jaipur, and we 3 can make the difference which is required in the present day. And I'm not a cybersecurity person to mention that early, so that I have got a good, I can say, a very good experience from last 3 years in internationalization in education. So I could keep up some connection with cybersecurity training, how things are going on these days, and again, COVID has brought new scenarios down the line. So I would take help of this presentation to just give a bit insight about the internationalization need of internationalization. I hope I'm audible and it's the presentation is clear.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. Yes.
Thank you. So, yeah, I am the Deputy Director International Collaborations of Manipal University Jaipur campus. So before going forward, I would like to showcase a bit of 2 slides on Manipal and then move forward. What we are doing in internationalization, so that will help us to connect with the cybersecurity later. So as Manipal group is a very big one, and we all started in 1953, and we are across India and also across globe. So we have many campuses. So and the campus which I am in, which is highlighted here, that is Manipal University Jaipur, which started in 2011. So I'll talk more about this. That Manipal University has 5 faculties, 29 departments. In this short span of 9-10 years, we are having 9,000 plus students, placement assistants, good campus area, and We all deal with all the programs in almost all area except medical and nursing and pharmacy, I can say. Almost all other branches we offer courses in, and it has come up very nicely. And internationalization has been an utmost agenda, or else a top priority, I can say. We are across 34 countries, and we have many collaborations with the different parts of the world. And also around we have crossed recently 100 plus collaborations. So that will help us to know the requirements in the cyber area as well as in many different aspects of education. So we have connected basically for education, and different we are understanding each other's problems, each other's culture, each other's teaching learning methodologies to move forward with. So this is just showcasing the presence of Manipal and 34 countries which are listed. So any information I'm happy to share later. So moving forward, what is internationalizations and its vertical? When it comes to talking to cyber training point of view, so again collaborations definitely, as many as renowned speakers just mentioned, collaboratively we can work, and academia, as Rakshit sir mentioned, can be one area. I mean one. Come to a parameter where the things can happen, we can come up with labs and all those things, and again the academia itself cannot function in that way. So we require a collaboration with industries and government agencies. So that is a collaboration is one important area where we have to sign MOUs, agreements, to come up with a certain understanding, so that we take up the right area of training. So we are training in a right way, as Nisha ma'am also was mentioning, this is a requirement to understand what to learn and what not to learn. So in there, the collaborations will definitely help us to come up with the what you can say, the proportionate or right ingredient to mention, the right ingredient to the present day knowledge. And of course, updation is key. We have to be updated every day. So of course, there we can, with the collaborations, we can do a lot of student mobilities. The industry people can come in. The students on academia can go to industries. They can go to international partners. We also have collaborations with bioforensic research labs in Italy, which we have recently collaborated, and we can send students there, and they can actually learn bioforensic investigations. They have case studies. Of course, we have a great collaboration with Sardar Patel University of Police. They can give us case studies and many things. These kinds of collaborative activities can be initiated and done. So of course, faculty mobility, the faculty who are learned, renowned persons, like a few we had today in previous talks. So they can come again to the podium, or again into the different collaborative agencies, can come in and pitch in the right training aspects of the in cyber sciences, so that we get the right proper informations. Of course, we have many scholarship programs to give out, which can help us to bring in more good aptitude students to come in and learn the right knowledge. So of course, international funding we have. So as we can see on the left side, it's there. Joint research fundings are available, as there are many agencies, government agencies coming up to provide Startup India, and many other agencies are coming with great research funding information, research fundings actually. So, and also EU funding, the European Union funding. So we are already equipped with many such fundings. So now putting that in cyber sciences, cyber securities, and getting those things will help us a lot, and that may lead to scholarship programs as well. And of course, student counseling. The student counseling is required to the core, because we should not move to the dark side of the cyber, and it has to be very good message given by Rakshit sir, that we will be definitely get caught. So we should be the right student counseling, the student who have gained the knowledge now, so that they do not go to the darker side of the cyber sciences, and keep the right track in and learn the right knowledge. So that is all required. So that for all these verticals, so internationalization, so we need to understand internationalization is it's somewhere connected everywhere. So okay, so now moving forward, like again, yeah, the why I've taken this impact of COVID, because this has pushed in lot of digitalization, lot of cyber usage. As mentioned, everything is cashless, digital, and so this is the initiative. Initiatives also have been taken by the government. Okay, and so of course these are some of the impacts. Definitely there is an impact on higher education. So there are COVID issues, health issues. Of course, that is the major one. The travel restrictions are there. We cannot travel now because of the quarantine and many other reasons. Also, they are not giving visas. There is a travel cost which is increased haphazard in a haywire manner, and also accommodation and stay becomes important because of the quarantine issues and other many other issues. So, but however, to see the optimistic side, that is the positive side of COVID, we have obviously it has brought a new procedures and platforms to boost the teaching learning methodologies. Few I just listed down. I put there are many actually. There are many such platforms. So now one we are using. Okay, and similarly Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, which we just use sometimes. It's for just connecting somewhere for international people. But now this has become the norm. So this has become the base of connecting and reaching out to the knowledge, reaching out to the information, connecting people internationally, nationally, and even just the house just besides you, you need to use these days. Yeah, of course there are again when it comes to teaching learning, there are many MOOC platforms which have been in force from long before COVID as well. But of course, with the help, with the push of COVID uh, uh, effects, or you can say COVID problems, the Coursera, Swayam platform of NPTEL, and many other such platforms have come in. Of course, we have seen many EdTech platforms been coming up, emerging. So Satishore is one. We are thankful to them that they have come up with many such great programs.
Thank you
So
so
we
much.
are again coming up with many such. So of course there are many others, and again they are in different education levels. We can say some are in school level, some are in higher education and all. So this is just a brief which I'm trying to give an idea on. Okay, so like what now coming to the major usage, why internationalization and cybersecurity. So now we have understood that with the introduction of internet, okay, it's long back before COVID and all those things, but cyberspace has been the fifth domain after the land, water, air, and outer space. With this, we have seen both good and bad developments in this new space. So we need to understand. We need to understand which one to go with. Okay, and again, with every innovation, there comes a boon and a bane. So we have to be very. We should classify ourselves and be with the right side, right path. So again, then when we talk about cyber, so there's cyber awareness, cyber information, cyber crimes, cyber laws, cyber love, cyber hatred, cyber hacking, theft, security, space. So many things are there. So now we need to understand these accordingly and be prepared with. So without which it will be a difficult thing. And now with this, only not the professionals, not the top class, not niche peoples, or it has to go to the base. It has to be. It has to reach to the labor class also to understand these things, to know these things at least, so that they do not. Of course, for a middle class person, losing some 10,000 to 50,000 also is a great loss for him. So we have to understand. So that this knowledge giving or this understanding has to be done in a proper manner. So if I can jot down that in one word like cyber security, so it has, and also it does not is limited to any country or a state. So it's a global problem. So we have to shake hands with different partners, different countries. So what best practices the different country has put in, like COVID itself have shown us what the vaccinations were generated with the help of certain collaborative vaccinating vaccine scientists. But they have brought in two different. Even India has sent vaccines outside, and we have helped each other. So now we are not. The country is not like a Vasudeva Kutumbakam. What we learn from our culture. So it is come true nowadays. So we have to understand, shake hands, go along with other countries' problems. We have to help the lower countries which are coming for help for us. Also, we have to take help from the other countries which are doing good and they are producing well in vaccines or any cyber. So it's the same thing with the cyber thing as well. So if there is a cyber crack, so a lot of information is there in the cyberspace when we say. So we have to understand. So now, so with all these understandings, so cyber defenders who understand all these is a need of an hour. So to those who understand these things and get updated regularly will be excelling in their career perspective. Okay, so again, when the question comes, why internationalization in the context? So we need to understand different culture, different region, religion, different demography, different language. So why this question has come up? Suddenly, why the cyber? Because we have seen there are religious crimes, there are cultural crimes. So nowadays, the cybers are coming up, they are hacking into the minds of the people. They are causing disastrous events within the name of religion, posting so many malicious informations, and so we need to understand which is fake, which is real. So there we have to understand the region, because sometimes we see there is a spelling mistake in certain countries and language. When I say there is a university, it's spelled differently in different countries, but when we see that, we may feel that there's a spelling mistake, but it's not the case. We have to understand these things, because there is their own spelling English itself, but their way of presenting it, or way of representing in their own language is different. Okay, so there we have to understand these things when it comes to internationalization. The different demographical requirements, demographical feelings of the people, how they behave. The Africa people does not behave same like the Indian people. Similarly, it does not go with Australian and America. They do not think, or do not eat, do not feel different. They feel differently. They eat differently. The cultures are different. So there also the cyber has come in, and they are posting wrong, malicious information. So to understand these also, we should be knowing these religion, culture, and demography. So also this also gives rise to global exposure. Global exposure gives, of course, there is a huge data, huge deep diving is required in to understand the cyber informations and crimes which are going on in India as well as abroad. So of course, America, India, and other technological advanced nations have been the data nations, and data is power. And I heard, I think Rakshit sir was mentioning data is new gold now. So it's very true. So we have to understand this and keep our data with us. We should be very careful when we are sharing anything. And of course, in the time of difficulties, we do share some information unknowingly, and we are under threat. So okay, and again, understanding deepfakes, dark web, etc. These all things are required, and again, that will come with internationalization, shaking hands with the partners, and knowing things, what they have done, what they have researched, or what we have researched, we can share with the people around. Okay, when coming to the training part, so there's a huge, so the students who are listening to this webinar here, when it comes to training, as our great speakers on cyber experts have given their inputs, I think we have noted down those things. Along with that, we have to understand there is a huge chance of gaining access to the excellent global cyber education. So, and India has been the key player in that. So Certissured, again with SPUP and Manipal, we are coming up with new platforms to teach the new required information, knowledge, and certification, which will help you get your placements, get you hired, and many other things to get new courses which you can go for higher education and do researches in these areas. Of course, you have new career object opportunities to explore in these areas, which we have to do, and based on the informations available, and also the right mentorship is required here, as the others also were mentioning. The right mentorship is very much required, and a good teacher is a facilitator these days. Earlier, a good teacher teaches everything, right from the morality, the everything. But here, the facilitator, the good teacher nowadays is a good facilitator who facilitates, he mentors. So these are the words these days. As academician, I have been doing that to some extent, and I've learned new things. And we also need to update. It's not the only cyber people. We all have to get updated these days. The experiential learning, quality learning. When I tell these two terminologies, it means that we have to understand these things. Okay, these have become experiential learning. So we need to learn from the experience, the case studies which have actually happened with the people, and quality learning. And when it comes to quality learning, assessment and evaluation is a follow up next. Assessment, and my good friend Mr. Vijay also usually mentions this thing. Called education or knowledge is there available, but how well the students have learned it, the assessment comes into question, and the assessment is the key parameter. So evaluation or the assessment of how best he has learned, or how well he has learned this knowledge, becomes a very much important key, and certified will surely make it certify that you have learned it. So that assessment part becomes a very important parameter. So so jot down the summary of this. So be open your eyes. Be well, means you have to be very careful. Understand these all terminologies and informations very well. Then get the right education or right information and knowledge. Get the experience in that. Then the assessment will tell you how well you have learned, and that will help you to get hired and get placed. Okay, moving forward, and the collaboration, what we are doing with this present webinar will also showcase that this right people have come together to give out good boot camps and certifications, which I think which was mentioned as well. So that will be there all for me, and for anything related to any information related to internationalization and how to move forward in these areas. I'm happy to help. This is my contact mail, so they can contact me, students and faculty members abroad. So I think I'll stop here, and over to you, Mr. Vijay, and any questions I'm happy to answer.
Fantastic, sir. Thank you so much. That was very well rounded. You started from the basics and took it to the, a very rightful, end sequence where you nailed it all, stitched it all together in a very nice way. From the internationalization, why it is required, how India can, Sir, I want to ask you one question.
Yeah. Yeah, please.
You've been in this area from 2 years now. We've been seeing you've been interacting with more than people from 30 countries, academicians and stuff. What do you think from the field when you talk with other people? How do other countries look at Indian system of education? Like, do they have confidence in an Indian system which is going to put our courses out there and say, hey, come here, we'll teach you, we are good enough? Do you think they'll believe that? And what do we need to do so that they can believe that?
No, that's a very interesting one, because the feeling what I have understood is everyone's eye is on India now. So not as a market, now as a resource provider, as a renowned, because as when it comes to cyber and cyber security, cyber sciences, India has been always in a giving position. And also when I talk to different partners, different people around, they look into, of course, one is the student power, what we have. The students, I can give you the best estimate of 7.5 lakh students go abroad every year. But of course, during the COVID scenario, it has been hit. But when normal times, 7.5 lakh students go abroad for their higher education, even for the undergraduate educations. So always the international people are looking for this power, one thing. And another thing is the quality education. And also always we know that the top engineers, top medical doctors, top professors you can just check any university and you will find an Indian personnel there. And also we have many top administrators who are like Microsoft, as Satya Nadella, he's a Manipal alumni. And again, Sundar Pichai, there are many people, you go on taking the name, and people are not looking India as underdog nowadays. They are really looking for the student power, the faculty power, and they want to collaborate with Indian. And again, they are now very much they make sure that they are talking to the right person, because as you know, India has a huge set of academic setups. So now they verify whether we are talking to the right setup. That check they do, and once that they are assured that we are talking to the right quality person or right quality institute, and they are ready to shake hands. That's the one thing, because Manipal has the legacy, so that is the one reason we could get a lot of collaborators in a very short span. Also, that can be the one, and also the right ideology or the vision of our new president, Professor G.K. Prabhu, which has put us in a forefront runner to get more collaborations in that way. So definitely there is a huge potential in India, and Indian students as well as a huge career is awaiting for us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That was fantastic, sir. So, people, I will be inviting our speaker and our collaborator and the guiding path with who's been silent but who's put so much effort in getting this happen. Trust me when I say that the whole this brainchild and the work that has been put by our Chaudhary sir, Arjun Chaudhary sir. Please take us to the end of the session here, and I would like to introduce him. He is the Deputy Director of Center for Cybersecurity with Police University. Once again, if you don't remember. So over to you, sir. Take us through this to the end.
Thank you, sir. It's been a privilege, and I'm really very hopeful that with this collaboration and with the guiding figures, Professor Dheeraj sir, Professor Shri Rakshit Tandon sir, even Nisha Kumari ji, they told everything in such a simple and naive manner that yes, every student can understand that what needs to be done in this time, which is actually a difficult time, and eventually we are pitching in this time because only of the need of the students only. See, everyone is just trying to get something new out of this time, because you cannot get out of the home, and you want to learn something new which would be relevant in the coming days itself. So for that, we all have to play some role at one point of time. So with the direction and the able guidance of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Alok Tripathi sir, this time, since our major aim was to train police officers across Rajasthan, and we have also trained police officers like Sandhu sir, but we just wanted to inform everyone that yes, we have trained Mongolian officers regarding the cyber security. We have police officers from Ghana as well. So we have been trying to train the police personnel for the last 7 or 8 years down the line. But we thought that rather than just skipping ourselves or confining ourselves to those people, and this has been a new thing which needs to be taught to everyone who is interested in that. So the idea came up with a discussion with Sandeep sir, and it's been a fantastic thing. And let me tell you here, after this webinar, we are going to launch a new boot camp in collaboration with Analogica study assured EdTech platform, along with Manipal University Jaipur, and it is going to be floated on 31st of May itself. I'm just sharing you the particular information here. And this is a particular boot camp which we are trying to float on 7 days, and it would be starting from 31st May 2021. And every day we have kept only for 2 hours, so that students might be having a comfortable level, so that they can start learning the area, what are the particular things we need to learn in this particular domain. Since this boot camp is simply a brief glimpse what we are going to do further in the coming days itself. Preferably in the coming month or so, we will be launching some certificate programs in collaboration with SPUP and Manipal University Jaipur, so that the people who are actually trying to get jobs in this area should learn in a very basic and very understanding manner, keeping in the experience of our police university along with the various collaborators across India. I'll be very happy to present you this particular boot camp. So the boot camp's modality, I'm just telling you right now that it would be held only on Discord, which is a new platform, but yet quite efficient one here. It is like on day one, we are going to introduce the workshop, outcome of the workshop, and what are the important things what you are going to take away while completing the workshop itself. Second session, which would be again like the basic lab setup, which we are going to put it online only. So this way you understand the lab environment, how to proceed the practical scenarios. Since when I had a discussion with Professor Dheeraj sir, my emphasis was only on the practical scenario, just because that eventually in the cybersecurity world, there are only 2 things which would be required more time. That is, you need to put your hard work in understanding and doing the practicals as much as possible. and eventually like people are not aware right now that where to look out for the practical scenarios. So here we are going to propose those particular platforms online as per your subscriptions itself. So you'll learn that what is the basic hacking and what is the ethical hacking and how to secure the critical areas and critical infrastructure of a country or a particular institution itself. So, moving on to the second day itself, we'll be trying to understand the basics. Like Ms. Nisha Kumari mentioned, that we need to understand the basics of operating system networks, the IP addresses, and how the data flows in the network itself. Okay. Moving on further, we are going to have the basic introduction about the Linux. Since Linux being the open source platform, we usually follow the open source tools itself, so that you need not to pay heftily for the subscriptions at all time. Like Rakshan and Tandon sir mentioned, like when we are talking about the cyber investigations, there is a hindrance which lying ahead is of the tools cost itself. So, being a state government university, keeping in our restrictions, we have started working in the open source tools itself. And believe you me, the open source tools are quite good to reach to that level so that you can start working in this direction itself. Third day, we are talking about mostly about the open source intelligence, which is again a new era. Although privacy is a thing, but yes, absolutely, there is a lot of data available on the internet, and everyone can try to find out that what are the information which we are trying to get out of that particular email. Like Drakshitanand sir just mentioned on that particular topic, that yes, probably I'll be giving you my Aadhaar number, my mobile number, or probably my mail ID. From that particular data, whatever information you can gather out of it is a new thing to work upon actually. So these kind of tactics or techniques would be very useful to learn and to come into this particular field itself. Then we'll be moving on towards the basic tools which would be very much required to enumerate, to learn, to know about the infrastructure where we are trying to you can say gather information of that particular infrastructure. So this way we are moving for the fourth day. This is regarding the vulnerability assessment, and there are some tools which we'll be discussing about here. On the day 5th, we are mostly discussing about this digital forensic analysis of some email headers and how to identify the particular metadata of a particular image of a particular mobile phone or probably a laptop itself. And moving on further, we'll be more majorly discussing about the stylography, which is again an important aspect of identifying in the digital forensics sector itself. Fifth day, we are going to have the future of the security discussion, and like what are the different paths the students may join. Since cyber security is an umbrella term itself. When we are talking about a cyber security researcher, we usually talk to that person and we try to identify that yes, what is your niche point over these particular things. Like there are a lot of branches in this cyber security environment itself. Like it can be a VPT, it can be auditing, it can be hacking, it can be you can say digital forensic analysis, probably the cybercrime investigations. There are a lot of branches are already existing into this particular domain itself. As well as we'll try to identify that there are a lot of CTFs, like capture the flag moments are there already. So how to proceed, how to solve them is again an art itself, and you'll be taught that particular thing itself. Then we'll be again discussing about the basics of what needs to be done during the social media usage itself, and how to report a cybercrime. Again, it's a very important aspect because eventually many people all the time when they are getting new, they don't know where to go, whom to complain, where to complain itself. And at the last moment of night, when everyone is in their homes, and probably in the COVID era, when we are being forced to remain in that our homes itself, then how to put a complaint online itself. That is again a very important aspect of that thing. 7th day being the final day, we'll be trying to put up some final assessments and the quizzes, and we'll try to come up with some other aspects to discuss upon, because eventually this boot camp is a stepping stone here, which would be playing part for the learners to move into this domain itself, and preferably like as per your own convenience, as per your own likings, or probably choosing your own branches of the cybersecurity domain itself. You may choose the different certifications which we are going to launch in the next month itself. So you definitely can look on this particular link itself, and be sure that definitely you are going to learn a lot of things, and eventually these kind of things would eventually play a part to learn something new, probably job oriented as well. And there is no dearth of jobs in the cybersecurity world, as Ms. Nisha Kumari quoted it. And right now we are a growing economy where the fintech solutions, where the new digital infrastructure is coming out. We all need the support from the young generation who is willing to work in this direction, want to learn. But yes, we are here to make you learn, and eventually we will definitely succeed in this direction. That's it from my side, and I would definitely love to hear from anyone who wants to put some questions from the YouTube side. Vijay sir, if you have any questions, I'd be really happy to answer.
So, yeah, students and audience, so if you have any questions regarding either the certification or the boot camp, do let us know. I'll, inform Arjunji about the question, and you'll get the answer live.
Sir, I think
There have been a lot of questions, sir. There have been a lot of questions which are hidden in the chat. So
Sir.
we will anyways we are going to scan them. And there are many
Right.
questions related to the jobs, government jobs, and how do you, join a certain Gurugram police internship program and stuff. So people have been asking. Do you have any idea about how people can join the Gurgaon police internship? How do you apply for that? Do you have any idea?
Sir, it has been directed by Ms. Rashid Tandon sir, and what I know that probably the last date was gone, but yes, you can always check it out. Probably the date has been extended, but since he has already mentioned that there are like more than 7,000 forms have already been received, and it's been very difficult to manage all the students at a single go itself. But yes, in coming days, we can also form a winter school program at our university in Center for Cybersecurity. Since we have a lot of experience in that field, and eventually we may always welcome Professor Rashid Tandon sir, Professor Dheeraj Sanghi sir, Ms. Nisha Kumari, and then there is a huge fraternity of digital forensics. We have ourselves with Professor Vikas Syag sir, who happens to be my colleague, and colleague during my master's time as well. So it's been an honor to serve with him in this university. And there are things we can definitely take upon, and eventually this is the initial stage where we are talking here that yes, we can definitely look into this direction, that how to proceed. And eventually, when we are talking about program, this you can say the boot camp or the summer camp itself, the space is getting clogged right now. So with the help of his directions, and probably he can show that how to proceed in this direction also, we may start helping the students who want to learn in this field itself.
Nice.
I'm really thankful to Professor Dheeraj Sanghi sir, who accepted our invitation to join this webinar and invited all the students. Sir, it's always a pleasure to listen all the time. And sir, your workings, your logics, or your speaking, sir, always enlighten us to think in a new direction all the time, sir. Thank you, speaking, sir. And really thankful, sir. We hope that we'll have some more collaboration in this direction in coming days. And I'm really thankful to Mr. Rashid sir as well, who also joined on the last minute notice, sir. And Santosh Patel sir, plus Nisha Kumari. It's actually you all people who made this webinar as focus. And we have already surpassed the time which we quoted like 7:30 in the evening. And still people are connected with all of us. And believe you, we will try to make a network in which we will be trying to accumulate all the people. And eventually, this is the platform here. It's kind of a blessing this day. We're talking about the COVID-19 era, where sitting in different part of the country and we are all together at this particular digital platform. It's a blessing in disguise, this culture. So, this all in my mind. I'm really thankful to all people, especially Vikas Montgomery sir
Thank
and
you,
his
sir.
team, Ms. Parveen Ahmed also, who are very hard in making this program a successful one. And it wouldn't have been possible to work on this particular topic at the last moment. We just get a thought that this is the time when the lockdown is in force right now, and eventually the student will listen to all of you, gain some experience out of your experiences itself, and it is just a journey which is just begun right now. I believe, I strongly believe about that. Thank you. Thanks to all of you once again, sir, ma'am. Have a very pleasant evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you very much.
I can see a question.
Yeah, there is a question. Yeah, actually.
That is, someone from core branches in engineering can choose cyber security as a career option. Yes, definitely they can choose. Not a problem. You just have to study. That's it. It's not hard, and companies do not bother about your branch. If you know things, they'll hire you. That's the only thing. And since there are so many courses now, they are also, you know, giving you opportunity to learn security. They are starting from basics. Similarly, there are other courses on other sites also. You can learn it and you can just start your career. Not a problem. But you'll have to study. That's the only thing. You'll have to learn it. I guess I have seen people from mechanical branches also into cybersecurity, so that's not a problem at all.
Perfect. I hope Pradeep K has got his answer. He's from electrical, so he's got his answer. I guess that's fair enough. Anybody can learn anything if there is. Yes, sir. So that with that, sir, we will be ending this session. Thank you so much to everyone. We've crossed 20 minutes. Sorry about
Yeah.
that, but we started 20 minutes late in a way just to give ourselves a leeway. But it's okay. But it's been a good session. A lot of information, a lot of boosting. So to all of the people out there on YouTube, we're going to be sharing the feedback form to all of you guys, and you can get your certificate by filling in those feedback forms. Do check out our bootcamp courses, guys. It is not this is the big. Somebody asked what next after the bootcamp, because see what next after the bootcamp is you sign up for the bootcamp, you learn what is there to learn in it, and after that in the bootcamp you will know what next yourself, because what next is something which you should engender. It should come to you. You should not be asking what next to others. This bootcamp is about teaching you how to go and look out for that what next. Okay, that is the whole preparation that is going to come out here. So guys, thank you so much. Have a good evening. Stay safe. Don't be ignorant. Don't be irresponsible. Just survive this through, learn, skill up, and enjoy your life. Thank you so much to everyone.
One last thing, sir. Whatever we have received in the money from the registration
Yes, sir.
would be again given to the COVID relief fund itself.
Yes.
And I think that this is just a beginning, and we are not here to make profit out of it. So you please spread the word so that these kind of webinars would also help in putting up some fund relief to the government sites.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
thank you, sir, once again.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Meeting
Thank
you.
You great day. Be safe, everyone. Thank you.
Stay safe.
Thank you, Dheeraj sir. Thank you, Nisha ma'am. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, sir. Bye, everyone.
Okay, guys. So good luck. Take care, and see you soon.